Welcome to your daily focus, February the 1st, 2022. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. Well, we have the new moon, among other things to talk about, but let's start with the numerology. First of all, we walk into February. February is a brand new month, so brand new energy comes with that. February is the second month, so it is the number 2. But in order to find the collective energy for February 2022, we have to add it to 2022. So 2 plus 6 is an 8. That's our strength, that's our courage, and walking with integrity. Absolutely. It's also about unconditional love. If we look at the day, we have the 1 energy, the I am, the trailblazer, looking for a new path, a new destination, creating, inventing. We're on fire. We want new opportunities. We want new possibilities. We want new adventures. We want new ways of being, becoming. Absolutely. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 9 energy. The 9 energy tells us that there are some doors that we still need to close. There are some projects that still need completion. There are things that we are still holding on to that's going to slow down our momentum going forward in the new moon energy. So we have to look at what is holding us up, what is holding us back, what is instilling an anxiety or a fear that freezes us from actually moving forward or makes us procrastinate a little bit more than we should, than we need to. We have the sun in Aquarius, moon in Aquarius, giving us our new moon at 12 degrees. Now, 12 degrees is more of a being in the moment kind of energy. Not getting all bent out of shape over whatever is happening, but rather taking a step back and thinking it through. What is my best course of action? Is the question we need to ask ourselves. And we're not going to stress about it. We're going to think about it logically. We're going to keep the emotion out of it a little bit with the 12 energy, but also it could be a flooding of emotion if we use the lower energy of it, which is the 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. That is also the Empress energy. So that is birth, rebirth, and creativity. Now, Saturn is sitting right with the moon and the sun. So we know that in order to go forward with the strength, we need to have a plan. We need to have a strategy. We need to have focus. We need dedication. We need commitment. Plan, strategy. And we have to do the right thing. We have to walk within our steps of integrity. We can't tell the little white lies. We can't grow it just to get the buy-in. We have to be truthful. We have to be strong. We have to be grounded. And yes, emotion does play into it, but logic rules the day. Now, speaking of that, Venus is getting along with, look at this, 6 of Pentacles popped out. Venus is getting along with Uranus. So that could bring in a little bit of love and stimulation within a relationship or new relationships forming. We want to see the magic. We want to see the beauty. It also could be a financial gain of some sort, out of the blue kind of financial gain. Something you weren't expecting. So maybe a good opportunity comes your way. Be careful. Mercury is still in retrograde. So you just don't want to jump on the bandwagon. You want to think it through. You want to use that 12 energy and pull it back a little bit. Be in the now and say, okay, what is my best step forward? The 6 of Pentacles fell out of the deck, so we really need to concentrate on the balance within our relationships. Are we giving too much of ourselves? Are we not giving enough of ourselves? Do people take too much from us? And why? Do we not set firm boundaries? Do we need to set those firm boundaries? What do those firm boundaries look like? And how does it not separate you? Because we don't want those boundaries to separate you, but brings in a unity, an understanding, a support for each other, a compassion, a love. Okay, we'll put that back in. The Lovers was underneath. Okay. What else is happening? I think it's actually square Uranus as well. So we have to stay open-minded. We have to stay flexible. Whatever comes our way. So we could get more stressed out. Things could happen that are unexpected. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. The Five of Cups fell out. Five of Cups has been so popular. Now I'm listening to a book written by Bruce Lee. You can find inspiration everywhere in the world. Just look for it. It's there. Anyways, he was talking about the cup. And this card was popped in my mind because it's been coming up for the last several days. And it's like there's this hidden message that I'm supposed to be getting, but I wasn't getting. And I heard Bruce Lee say this, and I was like, that's it. So what happens here sometimes is we have filled our cups. We've filled them with all kinds of stuff. And we get to this point where we think we know exactly what we're doing and nobody can tell us different because we walk this path, we've learned these lessons, and this is how our cup looks. And this is my knowledge and I'm sticking with it. And what happens is that cup gets full and then we close ourselves off from new information, new ways of doing, new ways of being. And sometimes you just got to kick those bloody cups right over and empty them out. And start to fill them anew with new ways of going forward. And I think with Uranus being so strong in this new moon, that we will, just out of the blue, trip across information that doesn't maybe match with what's in our cup already. And if we reject it, well, it could make the path a lot harder and a lot slower. So we have to be open-minded. We have to go with the flow. We have to breathe. There's a lot of good that can come out of this. Definitely a lot of good that can come out of this, especially when it comes to relationships and love. It's beautiful energy. Usually, Valentine's Day comes and it's like, just another day, guys. But in this case, Venus is there. And we have Uranus just out of the blue. There's a magic in the air for love, for growing love, for putting sparks in old relationships, sparks in new relationships, meeting new people to really, you just get a whole brand new cup because you got nothing in that one. Well, sometimes we need to empty our cups. Sometimes we need to say, maybe I don't know it all. Maybe I need to go back to basics and see if another path emerges for me before my cup is full again. So anyways, I'll get the title of that book if you want. It's quite interesting. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say, shall we? My goodness, they're all just... Okay, well, that's like 4 cards. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay, I'm going to cut the deck before they get any kind of ideas up there. And our bottom card is, look at this, the Devil, transformation. The Phoenix rising out of the ashes. Burning away the old, burning away the burdens and the walls and what's held us back. So maybe a higher sense of self-awareness, paying attention to our own individuality, our own balance that we want to bring into our life, what gives us peace of mind, what makes us breathe easy, what brings joy and laughter to our life, and what doesn't, and pushing it away, not allowing it as part of your world going forward. The Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is kind of like the investigator, asking every question until she has affirmative answers on how to go forward and how to step forward into what direction to step at times. And she will not make a decision until she has all the information in front of her. But when she does make a decision, it's true. It rings true. And she never has to look back and wonder, did I do the right thing? Because all the information was available at the time. We asked all the questions. We got all the information. Maybe we had to grow a talent, whatever it might be for you. And it's being honest with yourself. Now, the Queen of Wands also brings in this magic of once she sets out on a goal, a vision of her tomorrow, everybody wants to be a part of it. There's an enthusiasm around her. There's a vibration. There's an energy. You just want to be a part of it. It looks like fun. She's smiling. Why wasn't I in this sooner? That's the kind of energy. So even if you've got a lot of naysayers in your life telling you can't or you shouldn't, you mustn't, sometimes standing in our independence and saying, you know what, I've got all the information, and all the information tells me I'm taking a step forward in this direction. That's when all of a sudden people are going to be like, there's something different about you. Did you change your hair, lose some weight? What is it about you? You in love? What's going on? You're in love with your life, your passion, your path. You fall in love with where you always should have been going. I don't know who that was meant for, but Temperance is the next card out of the deck. You know, there's a perfect balance for each and every one of us. We're not clones. What makes you happy won't necessarily make me happy. And vice versa, right? And that's the way it should be. If we were all the same, how boring of a world would that be? Temperance is about understanding the true balance for you. Happiness, work, play, conflict, all of those things. And conflict isn't a bad thing. Conflict pushes us into growing, into strengthening the core of who we are. Remember, we have that 8 energy all month. So we're embracing our strength. We're embracing our courage. We're walking within our integrity. We're showing unconditional love. We're opening ourselves up. We're letting our inner child out, perhaps. We're saying, this is who I am. It's almost like we want to climb the mountain and shout and say, this is who I am. Pay attention, people. It's almost like you want people to... You want your voice heard, your voice heard in some way. I don't know where that's coming from either. So somebody out there, your angels are working super hard. Temperance is about having more by having less. Temperance is about tempering ourselves. Just like a blacksmith would with a piece of steel. It's just a steel bar, and at the end of it, it's just a beautiful work of art. But it's through tempering, it's soft bending and letting it cool and heating it up and hitting it with a hammer at just the right angle. And so we need to learn how to chip away at ourselves. Chip away at, it wasn't even was it the bottom card? Chip away at what needs to be gone around us. Those walls, those barriers, those perceptions, and find out the recipe for us. Years ago, I could never take a vacation because my ex never came to get the kids, ever. Nor did he ever leave me any kind of financial support so that I could actually have a little bit of money if I wanted to go on vacation. So, anyways, another story. One day, 2 of my children have moved. One is still at home. Paul, he's still at home. And I thought, you know what? He can handle this. He'll live. So one morning I woke up and I threw the suitcase in the back of my car, and he says, what are you doing? And I said, I'm leaving. I'm leaving for 2 weeks. I'm driving until I don't feel like driving anymore. That's where I'll end up. And I drove for about 24 hours and I ended up somewhere. And I found out that this was really my first time flying solo in 20 odd years. And I thought, am I listening to that music because that's the music the kids like, or do I like it? Am I stopping at this restaurant? You think, right? You got four mouths to feed, so you're going to the cheaper one, or you're going to the buffet, so they get their tummies full. And, well, what do I want to eat? If it's just me, do I really want a burger? Do I want to go for seafood? Or do I want to, whatever it may be, sushi or Mexican or Indian or whatever it is? Pakistani food is amazing, by the way. So it's about recognizing your perfect balance. What makes you feel content? What makes you have a peace of mind? And through that, you may see some of those barriers, because we do have that 9 energy saying that we do need to pay attention to some things that we need to move past, put completion on. Ah, the 9 of Wands. Susan, are you listening? All those wands in the back started like that one in your hand, crooked and bent and twisted and stubby, and not a leaf or a bud anywhere on it. And here we are, and we are sizing it up. Now, all those ones in the back symbolize the paths we took in order to get to the here and now. And each one of them stands strong and tall and straight, and each of them have growth on them. Which says that you've accomplished a lot to get to the here and now. And now you're sizing up that next journey, that next path forward, that next goal. And you're sizing it up. Now you're wearing white for new beginnings, new starts. You're wearing red for passion and courage. So, and this is where the story comes in, because all these paths merge into this new path for you. I need a sip of water. So sorry. Young girl. Her job at home was to spin the threads, make the yarns, make the ropes, different colors, different strengths. Some of them were braided, some of them were twisted, some of them were fine as silk. And that's what she would do. And one day her father came in and said, "Daughter, it's time that we pack our wares and go and sell them abroad. And while we're doing that, we should look for a husband for you." And she said, "Okay, father." And she packed her bags and away they went. And while sailing the ocean, a great storm came up and she found herself washed to shore. And she was the only survivor, as far as she could tell. And these men came along on the beach and picked her up and said, "You're coming with us." And they brought her to the market and put her up for sale. Where a man saw her and thought, well, she could probably be handy around my place, and I'll give her a better life than any of these people will. So he purchased her, and he took her home, and he began to show her what he did for a living, and that was making different cloths, canvases, colors, weaving patterns. And so she learned how to do that. And one day he says, it's time. We need to go and sell this. So she said yes, and she packed everything up. And when they were off onto the sea, the pirates came and overtook the ship and took her hostage and put her to work making the giant mast that held the sails. And one night there was a huge storm that came up, and sure enough, she wakes up on the beach, the only survivor of the shipwreck. And she said, "Why? Why? Why do you do this to me? Every time I've accepted my life, every time I find this comfort, this peace, this happiness, I think that I can evolve here, you go and you just pull the rug right from under me. And I have to start all over again. Why are you doing this to me?" And these guards came up and said, "We have to take you to the emperor." And she says, "Of course you do." And away they went. So she's sitting in front of the emperor, and the emperor says, "There's a legend in my world that a woman would be found alone on the beach, and she would be able to make the most gorgeous tents in all the world, and she would make the emperor and the kingdom rich beyond its means and fame and fortune would come to this emperor and his empire. Are you her? And she said, well, I could build a tent. And he says, wonderful. What do you need? So she starts saying, she needs to make the tarps and the wall. And he goes, oh, we have none of that. So she says, don't worry. I know how to do it. I'll teach everybody. We'll get to work. Next, she needed the big poles to hold up all the walls. What do you need? We don't have anything like that. Okay, well, don't worry about it. I know how to make those things. So we'll just get to work. Finally, she needs the ropes to peg everything down to pull it all together. He says, we have nothing like that. She says, don't worry. I know how to make it. We'll just get to work. And at the end of it, of course, the most exquisite, mind-blowing, magical-looking tent appeared before everybody's eyes. And everybody traveled far and wide to see it. It brought great fame and fortune to the empire and the emperor himself. And so she finds herself sitting across from the emperor again. And he says, you showed up in my life and you did all this for me. How can I repay you? And she thought about it. And she says, well, a long time ago, I set sail with my father to find a husband. So I'd like a husband. He said, marry me. And she did. And they lived happily ever after. The story is, when she was spinning threads, there was no way in her world did she have enough experience or growth to be able to marry somebody like the emperor. But as she walked her paths, they come together, they merged together. And when they did, she married the emperor. What is your big goal and what is your big dreams? We really are in a magical time. I'm sure it's coming to an end because, things like this don't last. But we know we have another 2 weeks just because of the astrology alone with this. So look for the magic. The Death card. This is really about us sitting there with this cape on. We're so darkened. We got our sword, our weapon. We have to protect ourselves and protect everything we own. We build these walls and all of a sudden we can't move. We become paralyzed in our fear and our anxieties and our procrastinations and our doubt. Now, over here, that is your inner child. And look, that's you feeling the freedom, the liberation, letting yourself be free, letting that inner child out, becoming the authentic you in some way, in some form, of hiding yourself in some way or a part of yourself. Maybe because it made people uncomfortable, or maybe it made somebody feel less than because of who you were. And so you dummied yourself down in some way. Maybe it wasn't to show off at work because you kind of got bullied for that, because it was like, oh, who's kissing the butt of the boss now, right? And so you've hidden yourself away. Or your views just don't match with the people around you. And when you speak your mind, they all shut you down. Well, you could just be in the wrong crowd. You could be completely wrong, mind you, but you could also be just in the wrong crowd. And you meet those like-minded people and they're like agreeing with you and adding to it and giving you new vision of so many layers that you didn't even realize could be there before. This is about tearing that cloak off, throwing your weapon away, and saying, yes, I'm embracing life. No matter how it is, you're going to embrace it. And you're going to say, whatever it is, bring it on, because I'm alive and I'm taking my steps forward, one step at a time. I'll do this with you or without you, but I'm going forward. I have been training for this moment all my life. Okay, one more card here. We got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is definitely about everybody bringing their best to the table. This could be mild competition, yes. Fun competition, yes. But it's more about understanding other people's talents, abilities, gifts, as well as allowing yours to shine. And under the Aquarian energy, I tell you, when people come together for an aligned goal, dream, desire, want, magic fills the air. Things happen, things grow. So especially if you're kind of in that kind of setting, I mean, if you're good at a craft, say you're really good at, I don't know, anything, and you can make money from this, but you just like doing it. You don't want to charge people. You want to just give it all away. You need somebody in your life to say, hey, you're wonderful, and only you can do this in the way that you do it. So let's start putting a price tag on it, and I'll mind the books, but you do that, and I'll take care of the rest. And all of a sudden, you get another person. They say, "Hey, I'm great at promoting. Just give me the green light, and I'm gone. You will be going crazy with orders and people wanting your services in no time flat." And another person comes in, and they're a caterer, and wouldn't it be nice if you just had a small brunch when you're sitting down with this client and making a bigger deal? And anyways, it's just snowballs. And the more people you bring into the picture, the more talents and abilities you bring into, will breathe life in a way that will seem magical. It's very preordained already by God or angels or spirit guides, but it will seem magical to us. Our mantra for our new moon. And Aquarius is very much a fair-minded, absolutely. More so about the collective than our own individual. So our individuality will shine because we do have the number 1 today. But teamwork, working as a group, partnering up with somebody, and this could be love, absolutely. It could be platonic, absolutely. Resilience, rise above the tribulations. Rise above the worries, the concerns, the petty worries, the petty concerns. And we think everything is important. Trust me, when my mom passed away, it didn't matter what I had planned for the next 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 weeks. Nothing mattered. My mom mattered. My grief mattered. The grief of my family mattered. And that was it. Everything was all of a sudden not relevant. It didn't matter. The things I was worried about 5 minutes prior didn't matter. Nothing. So sometimes we need to realign our perspective. Once again, we need to empty out that cup and start refilling it and saying, okay, what are the true priorities here? What just seems to be holding me back? Where am I stuck? Where do I have this fear? Where do I have this anxiety? How can I work through it? Could I work through it a little bit better with the help of somebody else? Or do I need to take these steps alone? And knowing you've got this, for goodness sakes, knowing you've got this. So this card encourages you to endure, to withstand the stresses, recover quickly from life's changes, misdeeds, bad ordeals. This is about facing life's adversities with courage, with patience. And you come through it unscathed, better and stronger for the experience. It could be a recovery from an illness, maybe being rejected by someone, a loved one. It takes compassion, determination, and strength, and you will not be defeated. Resilience of the human spirit and the validity of love inhabits us to rise above our tribulations and fly again. Accept your reality in a positive light, regardless of how it looks. to look at it in a positive way. And yes, you may have to take a couple of cups. You may need to empty them out. And you may need to just rebuild from the start. But with new ideas and new perceptions and an open-mindedness, you will find ways forward that you never thought possible before, and you will embrace those changes. So maybe just the old tried and true isn't working anymore in a part of your life. Maybe you've alienated yourself without even realizing you've done it, or you've hermited yourself away. Maybe you've lost a little bit of confidence. So start growing that confidence. Start seeing about the beautiful person you truly are. It doesn't matter what life throws at you, because you're strong and you're beautiful. So embrace your strength, embrace your courage. Take a risk on yourself. Know that you've got this, because you do. The cards are saying so. The mantra is, I have the strength to quickly rise above my problems. I have the strength to quickly rise above my problems. Now, some problems we can't ignore, but sometimes we do allow it to be an anchor around us, weighing us down, pulling us down, under the water, feeling like we're drowning and we can't breathe. I'm sure we all can relate to that in some way, in some form. It's looking it in the eye and saying, I will survive this. I've survived things like this before, and I will survive them again. And I come out of it stronger and more beautiful because of it. So bring it on. You know, it's like when the devil looked at you and said, you'll never survive the storm. And you looked the devil straight in the eye and you said, I am the storm. Okay, let's get an animal card. Of course, we will do a Journey of Love card, because it is a new moon energy, and that deck is just magical in its own right. So our animal that comes out is freedom with the horse. And it's really about letting yourself be free, giving yourself permission to smile, to laugh, to embrace joy. Freedom, transformation, free spirit, move, and courage. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is courage. Horse has a powerful message to share with you in regards to your time of transformation and newfound freedom. Sometimes it's easier just to sit in your fuzzy PJs and hope that life won't change, or that life will change, and yet you continue to allow yourself to be shackled away from your true spirit and your soul. Horse tells you it's time to dream big. It may be time to make changes within your current relationships, whether romantic or platonic. It could be you feel stifled by your current career choice. Freedom doesn't mean you give up your entire life. Instead, allow yourself to disconnect from the anchors tied around you. How many times have I used anchors? Oh my goodness. The end result will be positive. Spend some time in nature, taking in the feeling of the wind in your hair. Breathe in nature's goodness and just be. Just a few moments of solitude each day can allow your soul to reboot and clear itself, freeing you in order to see a proper path. Horse could also mean it's time for you to move house locations to the country. It's all about freedom. And allowing yourself freedom. And saying, you know what? I deserve this. I've earned this freedom to sit back and laugh for 5 minutes, to let the wind go through my hair, or at least just let it down for a few minutes, to just sit in quiet and breathe, to just enjoy yourself, just let some giggles go. We don't have to be so serious all the time. I know, for a while there, everybody's like, grow up, stop being a kid, get serious, and then we just kept that on. We kept wearing it because we thought we had to, and now it's time to take that part of you off and fly free again. Dream big. Believe in your tomorrow. Okay. Journey of Love cards. Here we come. What do we have? You know, it's funny. The full moon will be on the 16th of February. And I was talking about Valentine's Day. And look at this card. Ah. 16. Heart of the moment. Look at that card, huh? I thought, wow, does that ever wrap it up? Because this energy will last right until the 16th, which will be the full moon, right? I can't wait to read this one for us. If you're ever looking for it, that's the cover. I think the box looks exactly the same. Okay, 16. Okay, so we'll do the poem first. I'm going to have a sip of water first. My goodness, I'm thirsty. Now we've got a huge storm moving in. So I don't know if there's no power. They're talking rain and then ice and then snow. And the ice usually means there's going to be a disconnect of power. So I'm kind of preparing for that. Trying to get all my readings in, but life is busy. Anyways, here we go. I'll do my best, but if I'm not here, then that means there's just no power, okay? So, and I'm kind of expecting that because that's what they're telling us it's going to be like. So, no reason for them to lie to us. Love provides the opportunities to express the core essence of our very nature. It touches us at a level of feeling beyond the human norm and renders our being incapable of a feeling with greater depth or wonder. Love is the fabric of life. It's the substance that holds it all together and the magic that opens the unknown. It's the quality that speaks to our soul, that opens our heart, that excites our spirit and allows us in its presence to become something greater than ourselves, something more than when we are alone. You are entering a time of your life where the past and future are colliding. In this present moment, you have a powerful opportunity to decide how you wish to continue in a certain pattern of relating or not. This may mean leaving a relationship, perhaps starting a new one. But even if you cannot yet make that decision with peace in your heart, you can still partake of the heart of this moment and decide how you shall choose to be. Will you speak? Will you choose to let go of shame and criticism, of judgment, anxiety, of loss and despair, and just be with your own heart? Will you choose in this moment to trust yourself? Even if that trust says you have to wait a while longer before you can make any more long-term decisions. This is a time when you can alter your future. Stepping into a relationship with another, with the divine, with yourself, in a new way. Even the smallest choice for love is a step in the best direction. You have the heart of the divine within you. It's not too hard for you to choose love. Let go of the people who want you to choose jealousy, or fear, or anger, or doubt. Their games are not nearly as fun. Choose love, and who knows, they may join your party instead. This oracle brings a message. You are in a transition zone in your life and relationships. It is one moment that will manifest as many opportunities, where one choice will open up many pathways to fulfillment for you. We always have the chance to create our future with our present choices. At this time, you are in an especially fertile karmic period. You have just come out of a cycle of learning and about to enter a new cycle. This is a time to be willing to take a chance or a risk, to be happy within yourself, no matter what is going on around you. Your life is about to take a karmic turn, And you can feel peace in that knowing. Wow. Beautiful energy. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.